Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everybody is doing good. Today's segment is going to be the beginning steps to living off the grid. As some of you know my face well enough by now, I am a serial entrepreneur, also an investor, and this is a new segment for myself. And even though that I have done extensive research, I have beginning, the prep stages for this. And I have started to put a lot of what I'm going to be introducing to you all into action. So it's a lot of trial by error. And I want to go over some things with you all, and hopefully, I bring you all some value and some good content. So, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe to this video. That way, you don't miss any content that I release. First and foremost, the reason that I'm releasing such content is because, as we know, the great US that we live in currently is not, um, it is not, what it used to be. So if you're on this channel, if you're on my channel, then you already know that um, the way that things are going, we have to make some adjustments. We have to make some change. So, first things I want to do is I want to go over just a few steps with you guys, and I want to, go over some pros and some cons, do's and don'ts. I have made some errors, and I don't want nobody making the same ones. Okay, so again, this is the beginning steps to living off the grid. The first thing that I found out that I must do is location is key. Location is key. And when I say location, there's a few things that I look for as far as the location. Okay. The first thing that I want to look for is, the mass aspect of the land. Is it wooded? Is it, does it have water through it? Is it really hilly? Is it mountainous? Is it dry? Is it, moist? Is it um, flat, things of that nature? Does it have, rocks a lot? Is it really rocky? Is it good for planting? Things of that nature. So, location is key. I'm going to give you guys a primal, location, then you can do your own research. But I'm looking for somewhat of a hilly location, but that does have flat, you know, for building home, homesteading, as well as gardening. And I want to make sure that it does have wildlife there. I want to make sure that there is water, accessible water that is clean, that is on there. Okay. And there's a lot of locations. And if you comment below this video, I will make sure to follow up with you, and to kind of give you some, search areas, if you will. Um, and location, again, is key. So I do know that you can pick up 100 acres for under 100 grand. It's heavily wooded, and the reason I want a location that is heavily wooded because I can mill off some of the trees, the timber, as well as I can use that timber and cut planks out of the timber on the property for building purposes, and that will be in another video. Okay. So another thing, number two is prep work at the location. That is crucial. Okay, again, that is very crucial. And when I say prep work, I'm referring to, being that you're going to forage, you're going to probably live off the land. You're going to need site location as far as where you want to put your garden. If you have water, which that is a high requirement to picking your property, and you do not want ease of access, meaning you don't want just someone driving down the road and they can see you. Um, that is something that I do not want. I don't want people just to say, "Well, hey, I was just in the neighborhood, Doug, and I wanted to swing in and see how you was doing." I do not want easy to access my property. As far as, prep work, as far as location goes, I want to dig down. I will reroute the stream, the river, the little waterway, and then I would dig straight down, X amount of feet, between 15 to 20 feet. Because if you have running water, you do not want them or someone to block off your water source. Okay. And the reason that I would dig down after rerouting is so I can tap into natural water if need be. And I will always, on the opposite side of the water flow side, that is, I will move a little bit away. That way water can run. Okay. Because you do not want to get in a predicament to where your water is stagnant and all of that becomes contaminated. So you do want free flowing. Okay. Another thing that you want to consider is, are you going to do team? Are you going to do team and people, or are you going to run solo? One thing that I will say, and I'm not going to go too much in depth with this, is if you have a couple of people that you can trust, that is always a great option. The reason being is because obviously it's better in numbers, but you want to make sure that you can trust those people. They're going to help. They're going to help bring something to the table. Um, which goes hand in hand is having the people with the know-how. Do you have friends that are nurses, doctors, survivalists? Those are people that you could bring to the table if you own the land. Those are the people that you want to have on your side, on your team, right? As far as medical aspect of things, you want to make sure that you have people that can help you in that aspect, knows how to take care of situations. Survivalists, you don't have to worry about, shelter building, they can assist. Gardening, they can assist. Water retaining, they can assist. Um, and things of that nature. That's very, very, very important. Okay. So that is one of the top four things that I want to focus on. So, number five, do you have natural resources on the land? That goes back to having, access to water, okay? Access to, food, whether you're planting your own garden. Is there wildlife on the property? Is there hardwood like maple on the property? That way, you can actually harvest syrup, you know. So that's number five. Number six, bring in a home, or are you building a home? So I want to kind of elaborate on that because, obviously there is way two different things. It's way two different things. You can obviously get like a log cabin kit, do it yourself cabin kit. You're going to need a little bit of heavy machinery, unless your ingenuity level is well enough to where you can bring in, a pulley system to help you. Myself, being that I do have the experience, to build, my own cabin. As far as living quarters go, I chose to do a cabin style residence. Um, and that's just my preference. You can always add on to them. That it goes back with the having timber on the property. That way you can make, and cut planks of wood, and use the property as much as possible. Okay, that's something that you're gonna have to ask yourself. If you have the means, then yes, you could bring in a home site, assemble it right there on the property. If you have that team thing going on, then yes, you can definitely utilize that, to um, help you, put all that together, fitting the pieces together. So that's number six. Number seven, forging off the land. that goes back to everything that we've already spoke about. Okay, that goes back to everything that we already spoke about. As far as being resourceful when it comes to the timber on your property. Um, foraging as far as your garden goes, your water goes, your wildlife. Are you going to trap? Are you going to tend the hides? Things like that you need to pre-plan. I'm not going to say write them on paper, but you've got to have the know-how. If you have to do a little bit of research, go online, and print this stuff off and keep it inside of a binder. That way you have a reference guide to go back and read and look as imaging, step by step. That is extremely important. Number 9, food preparation. Again, if you reach out, comment on this video, I will respond. I will give you websites that you can go. There is places that you can get. They look like 5-gallon buckets. They have a year's worth a food ration inside of each bucket. You can actually buy 6 of those for like $800. That is 6 years. And if you're single by yourself, it's a lot longer than that. But this is measured out to a family of 4. Okay. That is measured out to a family of 4 for a year's worth for each bucket. Okay. Because of the serving intake. Another thing, number 10, water supply or making it clean. If you do not have clean water, how are you going to, um, you know, purify it? Are you going to run a charcoal system? Are you going to run a filter? Are you going to run, you know, what type of system do you want to run? Me personally, I will run it through a filter system, which is going to be fed into the homestead. I always want to do a filtration system, whether you're doing drop tablets, you're doing a pump that is pumped into a filtration system or a tank, which down below I'm going to go into the tank and water storage. Okay, so the number 11, power, some form of power. Just because one decides to live completely off the grid does not mean you cannot have basic necessities. Washing machine, dryer, refrigerator, things of that nature, instant hot water. You can have all of these, but you have to carefully prepare for that. Me personally, I prefer to use solar. I would need enough solar panels. You have to do your research again. Okay. If you contact me under this video, I can actually provide you all the links. I do apologize. I did not put all this into the description. But you can add up the amount of power that you're going to need, which will dictate how much solar, how many panels you would need. Things like the pump that is going from your water source that's going to get pumped up to your homestead. If you're doing a washer and dryer unit, if you're doing refrigerator, things of that nature, you would definitely need a power source. And I'm personally using solar. So if you want info as far as solar, how it goes, how it works, again, please feel free to comment below and I'll reach out to you. Number 12, very important, water holding tanks. You can get them up to 1,000 gallons, which is very sufficient. Okay, so 1,000-gallon water tank. You can use actual purification tablets. You would have to measure them off, put them in your holding tanks, and also an aerator that goes inside of your water tank to keep the water in your tank that way it's not stagnant. That's also an important factor, and these are sealed. So think about it like this. I will go in more depth on each one of these. I'm going to create another video on each of the things that we just covered, all 12 steps. Okay. I will do individual videos on these. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss none of this. All right. So I will be doing videos. So water storage, I'm going to take my pump and I'm going to take from my water source, pump up to my tank, and then from my tank, I will use a pump on the outside external part of the tank to push water to wherever it is I need it, which the first stop is going to be instant hot water. Okay, but again, there's 12 things that I just went over, and this is an introduction video on the beginning steps to living off the grid. I will do individual videos for all 12 of these. Okay, I will do individual videos for all 12. So again, do not forget to like and subscribe. That way you do not miss not one video that I will be doing on this channel. So again, thank you for tuning in. If you liked some of the basic things that I did go over, let me know. Give me your feedback. And until next time, um, I will be seeing each and every one of you. And again,